Hello students, welcome to the video tutorial on how to cite Ibram X. Kendi's Stamped from the Beginning if you're using that as your, and if you're making a works cited page for that text. The first thing you're going to want to do is create a project for the text. Click on the new project. I already have one open, so I'm just going to click that. You click the new project button, type in Stamped, and then go from there. Next, it'll take you to the dashboard. You're going to just click on the Sources tab. Okay, and at this point, when we click New Source, we'll do one at a time. I want to start first with those of you who listened to the audiobook of Ibram X. Kendi's Stamped from the Beginning. What you're going to want to go to is the website page. And then in this green area, down here towards the bottom where it says, wait, where'd it go? Not video clip here. I'm sorry. Sound recording, CD, record, etc. That's the closest approximation that they have on here to audiobook. So I know they have audio clip and audio podcast, but that's not the same thing. This is the better one to use. So use sound recording as the type. And then the name of the container website. Most of you were using the one from Spotify, right? That was the one that was made free over the summer. To get the URL that you need for that, if you go back to our modules and you click on, if you go back to week 1 from the very beginning and you click on the IB Summer Reading Homework Submission, there is a link, right, that'll take you to the assignment, which is here. And then down here it says, you can read the book or listen for free on Spotify. If you just click on that, I'm going to copy the link and then place that here. Okay. Most recent date of access. Most of us were accessing it maybe like right during the time of turning in that summer reading assignment, which was somewhere around September 11th. Somewhere around September 4th, possibly, or at the beginning of the school year. I'm just going to use that as my sample date for right now and say that was the last time I accessed it. So September 4th, 2020. Okay. And publisher of the site, you don't have to worry about, like Spotify is the publisher. You don't have to repeat yourself. Down here where it says sound recording, right? Contributors to the album record as a whole. For this, we want to put in the author, although it actually is also the actor and performer, but you would just put in author, Ibram X. Kendi. Then here it says, if citing entire recording emphasizing contribution of a certain person, you don't have to worry about that. There weren't multiple voice actors for different chapters in that. It was just Dr. Kendi the entire time. The title of the album and recording, right, is Stamped from the Beginning. And I know it's giving this message about like the word from is not always capitalized. You can make that a lowercase f. I believe it is actually capitalized on the thing. But if we go back to here, Stamped from the Beginning, the definitive history, I'm just going to copy this, history of racist ideas in America. Copy that and place it there. And again, it's telling, the should be capitalized. So I will do that one. Excuse me. There we go. The manufacturer of the recording, we can find that information if we go to the website like Amazon.com, where it has the audiobooks information. And there's one correction I'm going to make in a second. But if we look down here, we're looking for the person who made the actual audio book. The program type is audiobook, but we want the publisher, Novel Audio. So I'm going to put them in. Oops. So actually, I'm going to go back up here. The contributors to the album recording as a whole, right? The author is Ibram X. Kendi, but down here where it says, if citing an entire recording, who's the special emphasis, we actually want to put in the, I think there is, actor / performer. And then it's going to ask for that person's name. Where is that? So when we put that in, if you go back to the Amazon website, the actual narrator for the book was Christopher Dontrell Piper. So we're going to copy that and put that in. I don't know why I didn't save. Oh, I'm sorry. So we have to add the contributor here. So it was Christopher Dontrell Piper. There we go. And then if suddenly we're going to emphasize, excuse me, we want to emphasize the author in this case. So we're going to leave that selected as author. This will just make sure that both of their names get listed on the works cited page. The copyright year, if we go back to Amazon and we look, right, the copyright year is, well, the release date is 2017. But when we look back up towards the beginning here, it says the copyright is 2016. And then 2017 by the audiobook Novel Audio. So let's use the year 2017 because that's the official year of the audiobook. And then the date of recording, if it was different, right? And again, that information is down there. February 1st, 2017. Okay, now that we have all that information filled in, check at the bottom to make sure that that tick mark is properly used. And then we click the save button. So let's roll the contributor. Excuse me a second. Oh, I saw, here we go. The role of Christopher was the actor and performer. Sorry, we had to designate that before it lets us save. Give it a sec. Okay, and it will generate the citation for us. And it has both Ibram X. Kendi's name in there and performance by Christopher Dontrell Piper as well. Good. All right, so if all you did was use the audiobook to do your paper, right, and that's all that you needed, you can stop here. If you need to also do, excuse me, the PDF version of the book, you're going to follow those same exact procedures that are outlined in the A Doll's House video. I'll go through those now, but if you've already watched the video before this one about that uses A Doll's House as an example, you don't have to go any further. It's the exact same steps. For those of you who do need that, we're going to add another source, and we're going to select website, and after that we're going to select book, because again we used a PDF that I gave out to you. It was not born digitally, so we'll just do the print publication information. The URL is what we're interested in, so we'll go back to our modules. If you go back to week 3 down here where it says IA outline using stamped chapter 9 or 15, if you click on that, right, there was the linked PDF. So I'm going to open that up because I'm going to need this website up here. So I'm just going to copy that now, actually. Right. And so this will work for regardless of whichever one of those two you used. And I used the chapter 16, but we can go back to that. Okay, so the URL, I can paste that in there. Most recent date of access. Again, when I look back, you would use a more recent date, right? Because you're working on that actual essay now. So let's use today's date, right? December 9th, 2020. There we go. Then down here, right, again, because we have to fill this information because it's a different one, the contributor as author, Ibram X Kendi. We're also going to add in a co-author. I guess we have to add author twice because the excerpts that these are taken from, right? This is stamped racism, anti-racism, and you. And when we look back at like a source like Amazon that has the information for us, right? The co-author is Jason Reynolds. So we want to make sure that we include, and it says narrator, so we can also kind of add him in to this. Where'd it go? Here we go. So Jason Reynolds. I'm sorry, I don't think I spelled that right. R-E-Y. Excuse me. Okay. And then the title of the book. This one was stamped racism, anti-racism, and you. Again, watch your spelling and capitalization to make sure that it's done correctly. We don't have to worry about any of these. The publisher and the year. We can find that information. 2020. Yep. 2020 is our year. And our publisher is Little Brown Young Readers. I'm going to copy that. We don't need to put the publication city. It's only one edition, and it's not a series, so we don't have to worry about any of that other information. So I'm just looking over my stuff to make sure I got everything. Yep. And check mark at the bottom. Good. Then we can click the save button, give it a minute, and it will generate the second one. And see, it differentiates between the sound recording and the book. So at this point, right, you have both of those things. If you only needed one, you would just generate one and then do the print/export to Google Docs to make a works cited page. Or if you used a combination of both, right, you can do exactly what I just did in this video, make an entry for each of those items, and then hit the print/export to Google Doc, and then let Noodletools do the work for you. And there it all is, right? And so this, again, if you only used the audiobook, right, from Spotify, all you would need is just this top entry. But if you used only the PDF of those chapters that I went over with you, you would use this entry, or any other PDFs that you may have requested from me of that book. You would use that entry. And then, but if you use both of them or a combination of both, you would want to have both of those listed here. Even though obviously the authors are the same, you're still showing that there's two different texts that your information comes from. Thank you very much for watching.